In 1972, Jamaica sent Belinda Phillips to the Olympic Games in Munich. She was the island's first female swimmer to compete at that level. By itself, that was a major milestone for the Caribbean island, known for its track and field athletes. But more remarkable was that Belinda was 13 years of age. Phillips was and still is Jamaica's youngest Olympic representative in all sports, and at that tender age managed to advance to the second round of the 800-meter freestyle.
Daddy was a competitive swimmer. Daddy had a club in Scotland and he wanted us all to swim. So he phoned Neville Alexander and put us in to learn to swim. And then when Mr. Alexander thought we had potential, it was okay, to the stadium you go and you'll be swimming an hour, 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And when he told me this Saturday and he said, "You think you can do it?" And I thought to myself, well, at least I get Wednesday to rest. And I told him yes, and we started from there. I know for me, myself, I love the swimming. I love swimming. You couldn't keep me away from training. And that's how my parents controlled me. You misbehave, no training for you. So it was like, behavior. It was fine because I want to go training. But I wanted to, and I know with the whole family, I think we all wanted to go because it was quite fine. All of us went. Mommy said she was a one-stop driver. Everybody one-stop, so everybody went swimming.
The Phillips family, like many others at the time, benefited from the coaching of Neville Alexander, who, along with Johnny Lopez, were the architects of modern swimming in Jamaica. Alexander was a veteran of the British Army in World War II, during which time he was the champion swimmer of the British Armed Forces and a physical training instructor. Alexander was way ahead of his time in swim coaching and was recognized internationally by being the first non-American to be a member of the American Swim Coaches Association and also the first non-American to be inducted into that body's Hall of Fame.
He was always at the swim meet. You wanted him at the swim meet. He's a person that told you, so you learn to love and respect him. He was fair. He encouraged everybody. Everybody thought they were his favorite person. It's like, so it was, he had that way with everybody. And everybody, he taught us all to respect, and encourage each other. So there was a lot of sportsmanship taught by him. Well, Mr. Alexander found what our qualifying time would have been. It was 8th place of the Olympics, which had gone previously. And he was saying, he looked at all the times, and I was going to first try out for the 400 because I was a distance swimmer. And he realized, he says, but the more you swim, the faster you get. So we're not gonna try the 400 again, we're gonna try on the 800. He says, but it's a long race, and to help you with pacing, I didn't have any girls who could pace me. There weren't any boys who could pace me either because I was faster than all of them at that time. So he got the four fastest boys to pace me each on a 200. First one dived in. I don't remember who dived in first, but I know Andrew paced me, Jerome Maxwell, Dean McGlanagan, and Perrin. And they pushed off with me to keep a pace that I had, and each of them came in and I had to beat each of them. And then that's how I qualified literally to go to the Olympics. Once I made the time, that was it.
The Munich Olympic Games were marred by the world's first Middle East hostage crisis. 9 Israeli athletes and their 4 Palestinian captors died in the tragedy.
Even now, Olympics means mixed emotions, because you remember that always. I think I had nightmares about it for 10 years, every September. As I said, I had my 14th birthday there for the Olympics. So I had swum already when the event occurred. The Israelis, Jay, when we were in the housing, we were close together. So, yeah.
In 1975, Belinda was offered a swimming scholarship to the University of Miami. With a promising career ahead of her, Belinda trained hard with the Montreal Olympics firmly fixed in her sights. Like many Jamaican athletes of the era who went away to college in the US, Belinda's priorities were secondary to those of the university's sports program.
I also loved butterfly, so the 200 flies the longest. That was my favorite and pet event. And that was the event actually I had hoped to medal in what year was it? 1976. Unfortunately, at college I did an 800 fly for time on a very cold morning and tore my shoulder. And that was the April before the Olympics. So that Olympics, I didn't go, I didn't make it. I had just gone up to college, switched coach, which was very traumatic because whereas Mr. Alexander had my interest at heart and swimming and the love of me and the sport, it was like, okay, you're one of a number now and just fall in with the group, and it was a change. But I injured my shoulder and then that put me out of the Olympics that year, and my swimming career was never the same. At University of Miami I studied recreation therapy, or I was going to do physical education first, but I really didn't want to do that. When I injured my shoulder, it was like, wow, what do people do who are permanently disabled? So it made me open my eyes and think about other things I never thought about. And I went and spoke with a professor, and he said, try recreation therapy. It sounds like, that's what you would want to do. So I did, and I stuck with it, and I'm a recreation therapist, one profession, but I'm a swim coach on another. I was very fortunate when I was swimming. We had a president, Colonel Barnes. He was an exceptional man, and I can only wish upon the Swimming Association the same sort of sportsman-like person. So I had three very influential people who encouraged me in my swimming. My dad, my coach, Neville Alexander, and Colonel Barnes as president. They all had military backgrounds. They all saw war. They all saw hate. So I guess that's why they wanted sports and sportsmanship and sportsman-like behavior. I was helping Andrew coach, and so coached here for a while, and then I migrated back to the States, and I now practice. Well, I was helping him coach there when he started the team as well. The important thing with young age group swimming, not to burn out the kids and give them age-appropriate things. Don't be giving 8-year-olds what Michael Phelps is doing. Their little bodies can't handle it, nor can their little brains. And unfortunately, people who don't have a sport background, they want little 8-year-olds to be Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps chose that. And parents have to allow their children to develop a love of the sport first before they start pushing that down their throat.
The photographs and newspaper clips were taken from Neville Alexander's scrapbook.